to that just doesn't make sense, the nature of things. Episode 23, Board of Directors. I think we all know what a board of directors is, but how does that apply to us as a whole? It does not. It applies to just you and me as individuals. I know what you were thinking, but is not a board of directors more than one person? Yes. And here it comes. So you are there, three of you. Wherever you go, they have names: me, myself, and I. And one of them is the CEO. For me, that person is I, or Fred. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you to understand that your life is only about the decisions that you make every single conscious second that you are on the planet. As the writer Charles Swindoll once put it, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Most of us, including me, have made decisions based upon our emotions at the time instead of our minds and our reasoning skills. If you have watched my previous videos on my channel to date, you will know that I encourage you to educate yourself and reason things out until the decision makes sense to you and only you. Then make your decision. Whether it turns out to be right or not is not important. The act is what is important. Let me explain. As all of us go through our lives every day, we are met with having to make a decision of some sort. There are no exceptions. But the times when we are wrong are more powerful than when we are right. Believe it or not, we do not learn from our successes. We learn from our mistakes. Think about it. Every mistake started as a decision. It was not a mistake until we discovered it was the wrong decision. I'm telling you all this because I had to go through the process of setting up my YouTube channel or podcast with no knowledge of what I was doing. I just knew I was going to do it, and that is it. But also, if you have watched my previous videos, you will know that this is the kind of person I am. Once I make a decision, I give that decision a chance to prove itself through the reality of doing it. So with that said, I'm going to finish this episode I'm going to finish this episode or complete this episode off the cuff, not with a teleprompter. Why? Because I'm so much better when I am natural and being myself. So here we go. Let me get this shut down. The me, myself, and I ideology, I guess, is a good way of putting it. I came to that conclusion, God, I think I was 30, maybe 27. Yeah, I think I was 27 years old. It was just before my second daughter was born when I adopted this way of belief. I was a general manager of a furniture factory. That from previous episodes, I may have mentioned that's what brought me to Arizona. And yeah, I was that. So I had a responsibility of hiring and firing and running operations and, running the company basically for the president. And when I would interview people, I would put it to them in this way. Nobody likes being an actual employee. I hate it. I cannot do it. So I had to change my way of thinking and an approach. Now, did I go to work and do the same thing everybody else did? Yeah, yeah. I mean, from the surface, you'd never know that inside myself, I didn't consider myself an employee. I considered myself a business. And each one of you are a business unto yourself. Okay? You represent yourself. You negotiate for yourself. You make decisions for yourself. The only part of being an employee that matters is that you follow their rules and their regulations. And Never looked back. Now, occasionally I've had to do a W-2 job uh, like everybody else, but they don't last. I'm good for a year, maybe two. But once I get it in my head that they don't care about me or my opinions don't matter, I move on. And I don't give notice. I wouldn't be getting a notice if I was going to be fired. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm all about what makes sense, what is fair legally. You don't break the law, you don't break the rules for yourself. You use the loopholes that are in those rules, use the loopholes that are in those laws. Whatever the case may be, whatever the circumstance may be, whatever, and this is the important part, reality is go with the flow. Every flow has reality in it. So figure it out when you're in there. And then don't bitch about it. Don't say this, they did this to me or they did that to me. They don't do anything to you. You do it based upon your reaction to what is being done to you. So this is a short one. I'm going to be longer than my original and shorter than the ones that followed. But it's a test. I want to see how being myself goes. You know, use that. Let me go into a little deeper. So the board of directors, as I put it, me, myself, and I. Why do I put it that way? Because you need to communicate with yourself, and you need the me, which is could be considered the angel, and myself, which could be considered the the devil, the angel and the devil on your shoulders, and both of them are talking to you while you're talking to yourself. Listen to them. Okay? They are real. They are you. Talk your way through it. Talk out loud. Talk to yourself inside your head. I don't care how you talk to yourself. I personally talk out loud. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people come up to me and say, "Who are you talking to?" And I always tell them, myself. I had this one couple, I worked on their farm. And every night, at the end of the night, I would sit around this fire. I was separated from my wife. And I loved my wife. I wanted to get back to my wife, but we needed to get through what we were going through. And what we were going through is not important. But every night, I would have a fire. I'd sit there and I would talk about it to her. I would talk to her. And she's not there. And so this couple comes up and goes, "Hey," and this was in Georgia, so they were like, "Hi, who you talking to?" And I said, "Myself." And the other one went, "Why?" I said, "Because I got to have an intelligent conversation every so often." And one of them said, "Hey," and the other one said, "What does he mean?" Now I know it's a little joke, but that did happen. And it was a joke, and we laughed about it and all that. But I'm not kidding. Those will be the most intelligent conversations you ever have once you really get into it. Because you'll be talking about what you're going to do and did you think, and all of a sudden something will pop up. Did you think about this? Well, you're not taking that into consideration. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Seems strange. Back in the day, I was always told if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. If you don't talk to yourself, you're crazy. Walk yourself through it. Come to conclusions based upon your reasoning. And that is an example of you reasoning with your board of directors, and your CEO gives the stamp of approval, and that's how you move forward. And I got news for you. 99% of the time, you're going to be right in your decision if you follow that rule. Now, earlier on in the script, I said, and I'm among them, I made decisions based on emotions, and I still do this to this day, especially when it's based upon direct family decisions, because those are always based upon emotions and guilt and things like that, which is obviously emotion. take the human factor out of it, and use the first computer ever on the planet called your brain. And before you go, I want you to comment. I want you to like it. I want you to subscribe to it. And please hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.